Now for what's trending in true crime. Officials believe that the missing Pitt College student in the Dominican Republic may have died by drowning. But her father wants to expand the investigation. 20-year-old Sudiksha Konanki was last seen in the popular tourist town of Punta Cana. She was on spring break with 5 of her friends. Authorities believe that Konanki went missing last Thursday after a walk on the beach right near her hotel. According to the police report, she and another person went for a swim and were caught by a big wave. Her father spoke to ABC News describing her final message to him.
My daughter said that she's enjoying her trip, spring break, and everything was going okay. And she was really happy.
Now, the search for Konanki continues this morning. No signs of her body being located. We're asking, is foul play likely in her disappearance? I've got 2 great investigators standing by to help me tackle that question. With Black Ops Private Investigations, Manuel Gomez is here, and geographic profiler Douglas McGregor joins us as well. Good morning to you both. Manuel, let me begin with you, please. Do you think that this could be something where foul play happened?
Absolutely, because she was seen walking on the beach with a guy at 4:50 in the morning. And there's something people don't know about the Dominican Republic, a lot of people. The Dominican Republic is a second world country. That means this is a country that borders between a third world country and a second world. The people there are very poor in the outside community. Sex trafficking is extremely rampant. Crime is very bad. And the fact that they're spending all this time looking on the water, I think is useless. This girl, I can almost guarantee it, is been taken. She's the perfect candidate for sex trafficking. And on this island, I've been there on 3 cases as a private investigator, 1 for sex trafficking and murder, and I've experienced the corruption there, the sex trafficking there that goes on. And the fact is that America, we actually are 30% of the sex trafficking business in the Dominican Republic. So there's no doubt in my mind that this girl was taken. There's no doubt in my mind if they put a reward of like $50,000, they will give her up. But the fact that she's getting so much media coverage and no reward, they're in fear and they will not turn her over. You have to appeal to what attracts them, and that's the money.
Oh, this is fascinating analysis from you, Manuel. Thank you for that. Doug McGregor, I saw you tweeting about this case yesterday, and I thought, oh my gosh, I need to ask you if a geographic profile would be smart right now for this student. Your thoughts, please.
I think at this time, the search has to continue, the search and rescue effort. I reflect some of Manuel's thoughts, but the search and rescue effort has to continue. A geographic profile wouldn't necessarily help at this time until they had evidence of some criminal activity. But the profile put together by the search and rescue, their parameters, their probability mapping, that's what really has to continue at this point alongside a thorough police investigation.
Appreciate it, Doug. So ABC News is reporting that her clothing were found on the beach where authorities believe that she was last seen. They were found on a portable beach bed, but police say they have no evidence of violence at this point in time. Authorities did interview a man who was the last person believed to have been with her. Surveillance cameras caught that man coming back to the hotel where she was staying just before 10 a.m., but he came back without her. The Virginia sheriff in the county where Sudiksha Konanki lives, her home county, not Allegheny County, where she goes to school in Pennsylvania. They told ABC that it's too early to make any judgments. Let's take a listen to that Virginia sheriff.
We are looking, obviously, at all the phone contacts that were made, the people that she was with, people she may have met. We want to make sure that we're leaving no stone unturned. And so as far as the ongoing investigation, we're very prayerful and hopeful it turns out fine.
So investigators are saying that this man that she was seen with is not being considered a suspect. So what we want to know, where do they go next? Where should they be going in this investigation? Douglas McGregor, I'll start with you this time. Your thoughts, please.
I think law enforcement is going to keep interviewing this individual. They're bringing in their resources from the United States as well, which is beneficiary. And they're not going to formally say he's a suspect until they have evidence of that. But their investigation is they're going to focus on a public investigation and a more behind the scenes back end investigation. The public investigation for now is probably going to focus on the search and rescue effort, the possibility of an accident or a drowning. But in the back end, they're also going to conduct their criminal investigation into the possibility of nefarious action by this individual or by something else such as trafficking or kidnapping. But they're going to be careful not to speculate and make that public until they have evidence of such.
Mm-hmm. And just to follow up, if they see something that you said could indicate criminal activity, you said then and only then you think a geographic profile would be helpful.
Yes, for a geographic profile, you need certain elements to be there. You either need a body, you need criminal activity, you need a suspect, but you need something else. Right now, we just have a woman that's missing on a beach, and the best thing at this point in time is the canvassing, the interviewing by law enforcement, the reviewing of surveillance and CCTV, and cell phone data if they have it, and then the search and rescue effort in the entire area, at sea, but also, did she walk back, stumble, and hit her head on a rock? So the investigating the entire resort area, the forests around it, the park next door to it, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Doug, thank you for that. Manuel Gomez, you have a long, very illustrious career doing investigations. You're working privately now, but you've done it with our military. You've done it for the NYPD. You've been to Punta Cana. Tell me, what would you do if you were there? Where would you begin if you were looking for this young lady?
First thing I would do is go on the beach and you'll watch the individuals actually approach the Americans and the tourists, offering them drugs and sex and so forth and opportunities to engage in sexual opportunities. The second thing I would go to is the bartenders. The bartenders are the ones, when I was there, were trying to steer me to sex trafficking. All right, and to get to buy women and so forth. That's the second thing. And then the third thing I would do is I would infiltrate and go to the local gangs and areas and go to there, because they would know. And you have to understand something, Julie. This culture in the Dominican Republic, their culture is not to snitch, not to speak up. They sing about it in their songs. There's numerous songs with J-Lo and Cardi B talking about not snitching, okay? The only way we're going to get this girl is not by looking in the water. She is not in the water. It's by having a reward so much for like $50,000 to $100,000, where even the sex trafficker himself going to go, wait a minute, let's turn her over.
I love it. I love hearing what you would do. We have to leave it here for now today, but we're going to continue following this story as the search continues for Sudiksha Konanki. Manuel Gomez, you're coming with us. Douglas McGregor, we've got to say goodbye to you. Thank you for coming on the program this morning. And still to come here on Opening Statements.